Good evening, everybody. This is Kate Acuff, and I am chairing tonight's meeting for Katrina Carlson, who is unable to be here. The first order of business, Ms. Chisholm, I think is the roll call.
Dr. Acuff,
Here.
Ms. Carlson, Ms. McKeever, Ms. Osborne,
Here.
Mrs. Puryear,
Here.
Mr. Wade.
Here.
So we have a quorum to go forward. The next item on the agenda is adoption of the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Yes,
I
I
move
move
the
for
adoption of the agenda as presented.
second.
Second.
Okay, the agenda is adopted. The next item is approval of the minutes.
Dr. Acuff, I need to do roll call for all of
Sorry.
these.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Chisholm.
Dr. Acuff,
Yes.
Ms. Carlson, Ms. McKeever, Ms. Osborne,
Yes.
Mrs. Puryear,
Yes.
Wade.
Here, yes.
Okay, thank you for reminding me of that. The next item is approval of the minutes that were included in our board package. Do I
I
have
move for approval.
Second.
any discussion? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Dr. Acuff,
Yes.
Ms. Carlson, Ms. McKeever, Ms. Osborne,
Yes.
Mrs. Puryear,
Yes.
Mr. Wade.
Yes.
The motion is passed. The next item is public comment. Do we have anyone signed up to make public comment?
No, we do not.
With no one signed up, that public comment is closed. Next item is approval of financial status. Stephanie, Ms. Carter, do you have anything to say about the documents that were presented?
There's nothing outstanding or of concern in our financial statement. All of our bills are paid and everything is status quo. I recommend approval.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any comments? Then why don't we vote on approval of the financial status? Do we need Ms. Chisholm, do we need a motion?
Yes, please.
Okay,
I move the approval of the financials as presented by Ms. Carter.
do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, then we'll do the roll call.
Dr. Acuff,
Yes.
Ms. Carlson, Ms. McKeever, Ms. Osborne,
Yes.
Mrs. Puryear,
Yes.
Yes.
The financial status documents have been approved. The next item is approval of the audit.
We did not include the audit again in this board book because it was so large, but it was provided in full in the previous board book. As I said in the last board meeting, the audit was clean. We had no recommendations, and there were no changes that needed to be made. One of the outstanding questions that was asked was about how often we look for a new company to do our audits or agency. And I have this email from Jackson Zimmerman. I'm just going to read it because he is the expert and I thought it was a really good reply. So he said, we do review our audit contract and we have open bids every 5 years with local government. RFC does most of the governmental audits in the state. Since they do so many and have such large staff, they are able to meet requirements to have different staff involved in managing over the contract period. We have had RFC bid each contract period and their bids have been exemplary. Their experience and knowledge of the specific field of public institutions is exceptional in Virginia. So although we have considered other firms via the bid process, no other firm has been able to offer similar service or expertise. I encourage open bids, but would not recommend excluding RFC purely due to their strong presence in Virginia and their specific expertise in the field. So I wanted to follow up. I think, Dr. Acuff, that was a question that you presented, and that was the response from Mr. Zimmerman.
That was a very comprehensive response. Do we have any other discussion? So do we have a motion to approve the audit?
Move for approval.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ms. Chisholm, will you do roll call?
Dr. Acuff,
Yes,
Ms. Carlson, Ms. McKeever, Ms. Osborne,
Yes.
Mrs. Puryear,
Yes.
Mr. Wade.
Yes.
the motion's passed. And finally, in the financial section, we have a revised budget. Ms. Carter, do you want to speak to that?
Yes, I'll share my screen. So our budget is approved, as you all, I know, are very aware. Our budget is approved early in the budget process for school divisions. So in January, when our budget was approved, we went with a 3% salary increase, and that changed during the budget process for both school divisions. So this budget, I felt that it should come before you again because it's substantially different than if there's about a 7.34% increase in spending. So that felt significant enough to ask for you all to review it and approve it again. All of the increases are related to salaries, and then also a decompression schedule for the additional salaries to bring everybody up to $15 an hour. So the budget, they're no big surprises, but it did feel that we should bring it back up for your review and hopefully approval.
Ms. Carter, how many employees did we have that were making under 15?
We did not have any. So we had already, I'm going to stop sharing this just so that everybody can see, but with the decompression schedule, when the change came out, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing, we had a couple of employees that had a substantial increase in their hourly pay.
The ripple effect.
Which was wonderful and well-deserved for them. I'm really happy for them.
Does anyone have any questions or comments about the revised budget? Do I have a motion to approve the revised budget?
I move approval of the revised budget as presented by Ms. Carter.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Chisholm, will you do the roll?
Dr. Acuff,
Yes.
Ms. Carlson, Ms. McKeever, Ms. Osborne,
Yes.
Mrs. Puryear,
Yes.
Mr. Wade.
Yes.
The revised budget has passed. The next item on the agenda is approval of foundation officers and member. Who is doing that presentation?
Linda Seaman will be making that presentation. Linda is the
There you
president. I'm sorry?
I just said, there's Miss Seaman. I
Yes.
didn't see her right away.
Yes, she's the president of the CATEC Foundation Board presently. Ms. Seaman?
Okay, you have a list of the officers in front of you. Two of us are the same as last year. And so we plan to continue through this next year. And we've added Peggy Beniers, a former Charlottesville School Board member, as our secretary, and Debbie Garadia as our treasurer. Debbie is a CPA, and that will help us significantly in handling the financial matters of the foundation. And I don't know if you want to move to our new board member at the same time for approvals and do it all at once. Laura Fauner has applied to be a member of our board. In addition to the application, I just want you to know that she works for Champion here in Charlottesville. She was voted the best chef in Charlottesville. She's been on the Food Network contest and has earned or won more than $20,000. But most important, she is a graduate of CATEC, and she has been very, very successful in our local economy and is a CATEC graduate. So we think she's pretty special. In addition, she's going to be providing breakfast for all of our faculty and staff next Monday.
And where is that?
And-
I think we should all go.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
So that is the presentation I have of our new board member and the officers.
Okay, if no one has any objections, we can move to approve the new officers and new board member at the same time.
Fine.
If that's the case, do I have a motion?
I move the approval of the foundation officers for CATEC and their new member as presented by Foundation Chair Linda Seaman.
Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Ms. Chisholm?
Dr. Acuff,
Yes.
Ms. Carlson, Ms. McKeever, Ms. Osborne,
Yes.
Mrs. Puryear,
Yes.
Mr. Wade.
Yes.
Outstanding. It's been approved. The foundation board report, Ms. Seaman, are you going to do that as well?
Yes, I am. Thank you. The foundation board held its first retreat on June 28th with Erica Vexilio as our facilitator. It was the first time we had met in person for a very long time. Several of our members are new, so it was important for us to get to know one another. In the current labor shortage, there is a great need for skilled and well-educated workforce. Our diverse board sees the urgency of supporting CATEC and the critical role it plays in developing the workforce that our community relies on. Our retreat focused on three main topic areas. First, advocacy, that is, educate the public, potential students, employers, and policymakers on the value of a technical education, the scope of current and future workforce shortages, and resources available at CATEC. Our second focus area was recruitment, removing barriers to success. We'd like to work with the advisory boards that each program area has. We'd like to research ways to support a middle school summer program. We'd like to understand more about the bureaucratic barriers, including scheduling challenges, the types of students referred to CATEC, and regulatory barriers. And as we are doing currently, provide more scholarships for adults to ensure that the programs are affordable for all. And our last focus area is to ensure a physical environment that is conducive to a 21st century first-class education. We'll be looking into business-funded capital projects and equipment and looking for advocacy and support in gaining public funds for the capital projects that are needed. At our August board meeting, we will refine this outline with specific action items and set up task groups to move each of these initiatives forward. So stay tuned to what we'll be doing. I welcome any questions you may have.
I really liked your proposal about engaging middle school students in the summer. Do you have any more definition to that, or have you spoken with?
Well, we certainly talked with Stephanie about this. It is something CATEC used to do. In fact, our new board member, Laura Fauner, came to a middle school program, and that's when she caught fire with culinary. And it is a way to engage students early as they're starting to develop their own career paths and courses of studies throughout the high school. In our visiting 2 other tech centers this spring, in late spring, I guess, both of them have middle school summer programs. And that's part of the way they use to recruit more students into career technical education. So it is something we want to look at, want to figure out how that would work and what kind of support is needed to make something like that happen.
In more recent history, I'll just add that Shannon, when my first summer at CATEC, Shannon was running, it was called the PACE Summer School and or Summer Camp. And so we have, in very recent history, we have run these programs, and I know that I know the community as a whole really appreciated them. There's a funding issue that comes, and so that's what I think in cooperation with the foundation board, we would love to offer them free of charge, which is we had a grant to do that in the past, and they were very successful. And we definitely had students then a passion like Laura's was sparked, and we had students come in high school to CATEC to pursue that passion. And it was also helpful because I think if you come in middle school and you kind of know going in that you want to go to CATEC, you can have that mindset when you're meeting with your counselor when you enter your freshman year, even though you're not coming right then. So it's a wonderful opportunity, and I'm really excited that the foundation board is excited about it because I look forward to being able to offer that opportunity again in the future.
Sounds great. I think the younger, you can like Linda said, kind of catch that fire, the better. So, and it's just another option. A lot of kind of middle school kids are kind of too old for the camps and regular summer school, but their parents and they want to do something, and this could do it. So I like I know you're fundraising for it, but just kind of get an idea of what it, you're pulling it together, Stephanie, and what it would cost, just in general. So it may be something that we can look at to pilot.
Sounds good.
Stephanie, do you know how many, at its apex of participation, do you have any idea if we're talking about a dozen students or 100 students?
Oh, well, it was in my first 2 weeks, but the expert of many things is on, Shannon. So she probably knows right off the top of her head.
At that time, it was a little over 100, and we were running 2 separate camps at a time. So we had a high school pre-apprenticeship camp that was running for electrical program. And then we had the middle school camp that had a bunch of different cosmetology, culinary, auto body, little camps running throughout the week, but it was over 100 students.
I think we need a mini camp for high school counselors or middle school counselors that also to get them engaged in this idea.
Yeah.
That sounds terrific, Ms. Seaman. Does anybody have any other comments or questions about the foundation and its strategic plan?
I just want to say thank you to Ms. Seaman for her continued love for CATEC. She does this, and I've known Linda for a while. She does this from the heart. She tells you that it's for the students, and everything she does for the students of CATEC to help them become better citizens in our community. And to have someone of her caliber and diligence to represent us is just wonderful. She's our CATEC ambassador, and I think she always will be. And I really enjoy her foundation updates at our meetings, because if you don't know what's happening, Linda will certainly let you know what's happening, and she never, never, never will cease in calling on you, any of us, to help her in any efforts. So if it's ever dragging along, just know that this little lady named Linda Seaman will be knocking at your door, sending you an email, or giving you a call. And I'm always happy to rise to that occasion to help her. And I want to personally thank her for all of the work that she has done on behalf of the students of Charlottesville and Albemarle, and all of those people that are associated with CATEC.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. This is a little embarrassing, but our community simply needs what CATEC produces. And we sometimes forget that because it runs pretty smoothly. And so it's not a squeaky wheel, but it is a school that needs our attention because our business community needs what's happening at CATEC. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Seaman, for being here tonight.
Thank you.
The next item is a report on student enrollment. Aha.
Okay, so here is our current projected enrollment. You can see we are trending strongly upward with enrollment. We know this number at 314, it may change, but right now we are 86% enrolled. The enrollment is particularly good when you consider the fact that we can compare this year with 2018, 2019. But during that particular year, we actually offered 2 additional classes. We had pharmacy tech and IT, which we don't offer now, which just shows how impressive our current numbers are. So for this slide, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you can see we have a key. You can see that most of our programs are either full or full with a waiting list, and just 2 programs are still open for enrollment, auto tech and electricity, 2 very popular programs. They continue to have high waiting lists. The long wait for electricity should be remedied for the 2022-2023 school year when we will have a full-time electricity teacher. And I think this slide speaks for itself. You can see we have a lot of participation from Monticello High School in particular, but also Albemarle High School.
It looks
Any
like
questions about enrollment?
Oh, looks like the percentage from Western Albemarle is up a little bit, is it? Or is that, I can't do the math. I mean, it's always lower because it's so far, partly, but it looked a little higher as percentage.
I do feel like we have more Western representation in programs that we haven't in the past. The EMT program at Western is really strong. I think we've got a waiting list of 4. I'd have to go back in that program for next year. And of course, that's at Western. So I think that really does help facilitate it, so because there's not the long commute. But I certainly do that. That's 20 students. So we've got 31 students in other programs that are actually coming here. And I can get you the percentage for sure, but I do think it's up.
No, I don't need any more data. I think it looks good. Our numbers last year, and I know it was on the first chart.
I can go back, I think.
So this looks close to what you had projected before the pandemic hit. Looks like it's the trajectory of it is.
Yes.
Yeah, right. I think,
And we know we lost a number of students that once we were going virtual that chose not to come here. We were really adversely impacted by students thinking about CATEC being virtual, which was necessity at the time. And that's just what the world we were living in. But yes, I do think that really impacted our 10-day count. And I don't think we had as many, our waiting list, particularly in auto tech and electricity those are big numbers. I mean, enough to even justify another section as far as auto tech goes. So they're good, strong numbers.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, comments about student enrollment? Then the next item is making connections. Someone will tell me what that is.
I'll tell you. It is I'm pleased tonight to present to you guys just an update on our, excuse me, let me get there, on some initiatives that you all as a center board have really supported since the day that I came. And I really appreciated and felt that I wanted to kind of give you all just an overall encompassing view of the impact that some of the things that you all have really supported me around have made. So really overall thinking about how CATEC is leveraging real world skills to kind of strengthen and deepen our learning, and also to help them meet the profile of a Virginia graduate. Students meeting the profile of Virginia graduate achieve the Commonwealth's high academic standards and graduate from high school with workplace readiness skills and understanding of their responsibilities as a citizen, and career plans align with their talent, interest, and experience. And CATEC plays a big role in that for students that come here. We take a number of strategies to make that happen. One of the things that you all have really supported that we are seeing real success in is embedded instruction. So this year will be the first year that we have geometry and building trades. But we know that when we increase the relevance, when students can really see what they're doing and relate it to something they understand, then we know that we're increasing accessibility, and then we know that increases equity as well. So we're excited to see the geometry program finally launched this year. Last year, we had Biology 2, Anatomy and Physiology offered in both EMT and vet science. So you can see in this picture here, these young ladies are dissecting some sort of organ. I don't know what the organ is, but that's in their vet science class. And so there's a lot of just embedded and inherent and organic anatomy in these classes. And so our students are able to really dig deep in these concepts that sometimes are theoretical and a little bit nebulous. And by embedding the instruction, they can really make the connections. We also have launched an integrated instruction program, and this integrated instruction is different than embedded instruction because it allows students to also dive deep on their CTE competencies by exploring them through academic projects and while meeting state standards. So we offer English 10 and 11 directly in culinary arts, and we offer English 11 in cosmetology. So all of their writing projects and all of their English standards are met. It's all project-based learning with a topic that relates to the trade that they love and that they're immersed in for half the day. So our students have really enjoyed that. And I bought a pile of books for our English teacher that looks so exciting for culinary arts that she's going to use for English. And our students are really, I think, really enjoying that and appreciating it. We still offer the pull-out courses, which is something that's been done here traditionally. I didn't want to leave that out because that also allows for accessibility with Econ and Personal Finance, Government 10, and Government allow our students to come here, and English 12. It helps with scheduling barriers. We do a lot with workplace readiness connections. CATEC trains our students on the skills that they need, but every single one of our CTE classes, the first 22 competencies are all the same, and they're all around workplace readiness skills. Those competencies serve as really the foundation for our entire school culture, and they're integrated daily into life just across all the courses at CATEC. We really invest in this because what we hear from employers all the time, frequently is even understating it, is that they need employees that know how to work, that have a work ethic, that come to work on time, and all of those soft skills that are a part of every single one of our classes. So our school-wide expectation is that CATEC students are professional, and we model that and we reinforce it with weekly focused skills. We have a full curriculum that every one of our classes teaches to our students. And within those lessons are intentionally built and delivered when they're needed. So at the beginning of the year, we do teamwork, or we why it's important to, to wear uniforms and to be safe. So we focus on those skills first, and then we have a whole year of the other skills that we focus on. We also, all of our students get assistance writing a resume. All of our students leave us with a resume. They prepare and practice interviews. We promote work-based learning experiences, and we have a career closet if they need an outfit for an interview. We also provide them with their industry uniforms and equipment so they can really meet a professional standard. With the support of the foundation board, we're able to get our students boots, they get EMT pants, they get work shirts, so that they come to work, they come to school every day representing themselves as they would in the industry. And then, of course, we offer a number of dual enrollment credits. The other piece of this that I'm particularly proud of is that when we have a student that needs some support around behavior, what we identify the behavior, and then we try to connect it with one of these workplace readiness skills. And then we give the student the opportunity to train on the behavior that they need to improve. So if a student comes to us with, if they're constantly tardy, instead of just being punitive, we take that as an opportunity to understand the student has a skill gap and they need to grow in that skill. So we provide them additional training around that skill specifically. So the 22 workplace readiness skills really are the backbone of our entire school culture, and our students are really, really immersed in it. And then civic connections, we know are important. And this is an area that we want to grow, but it's also an area that we are doing a lot of things currently. Currently, we have our auto tech and auto body. They rehabbed a car that went to a single mom through a nonprofit called Giving Words. We have met with the Fountain Fund and are really hopeful to do a similar project with the Fountain Fund so that we can get someone in a car, because we have the skills, and we also get cars donated to us quite frequently. Building Trades built dog houses. Anthony has a really exciting and fun program going with Albemarle County Schools, and we're hopeful to partner with Charlottesville too. You can see in the picture over there that Anthony's presenting to a group of students. What school was that, Anthony?
Meriwether Lewis Elementary.
So I think Mr. Irani heard about the program, and then he called and said, I want you to come over here. So Anthony took the components of a bee house and went to Meriwether Lewis, and the students, they used drills and they assembled the bee houses, and then they installed them near the flower garden, and they put pollinators in there. Anthony did it at Monticello as well, and we had purchased pupa. Is that right, Anthony?
Yes, yes, I think that's probably pupae maybe. The plural is difficult to say.
Yes. So bees. And so before he even got back over there to put them into the bee house, bees had already found the house and had just had come naturally. So it was really exciting. And so, that we feel like that sort of interdisciplinary project is not only great for kids, maybe getting exposed to CATEC, but for our students as well. And it's truly across many of our programs: building trades, culinary arts. There's an agriculture line as well. And then culinary arts, I know that you all are well aware that we partner with Cultivate for the farm, which is in the very beginning stages, but it's super exciting. We partnered with Charlottesville City Schools to do Day of Play, and we've gotten a couple of bee houses and beehives installed from Siller Pollinator, so that our culinary students can get honey eventually and see how honey is made and harvested. So those are many of the things that we're doing here to try to expand our students' opportunities. And all of these opportunities are preparing our students to harness the life they want. And the opportunities are really abound. Job forecasts for all of our programs are growing. And if the infrastructure bill passed the Senate today, becomes a reality, we are looking at millions of skilled trades jobs that could be created. And CATEC is here in our high school and our adult programs to prepare our students to step into those jobs. We already are hearing from our employers over and over again that they need employees that want to do this work. So we're really proud and happy to be a part of that. But at the end of the day, mostly what we want to do is provide our students with the opportunity to do something they love and to earn a living wage and pursue a rich and meaningful life. And all of these programs that you all have supported, I think really help us do just that. So I just wanted to update you. Thank you. Do you have questions?
Stephanie, I have one. Back when you were talking about the skills for students and the resume, my daughter's a recruiter and she even helps a lot of entry-level people, and increasingly the paper resume is gone and it's a video that she coaches people on how to do it. I'm wondering if that's part of the package, or could be, or should be.
It could be, and it probably should be. We have not transitioned there yet, but that's a great suggestion. I will let Amanda J know. Any other questions or comments?
To add to the list of community connections, the botanical gardens, now that you've done the tour, right?
Yes.
Well, that was very exciting, very good,
Thank you all.
comprehensive list of activities. The next item then, if no one has any further comments or questions, are comments from the director, which is you again.
I would like to take my time tonight to recognize Thomas Wheelock Holbert. He was 98, lived in Charlottesville, and he died on July 7th, 2021. He was born September 24th, 1922. Leslie, can you tell me how to say his last name? I'm sorry. I practiced it before.
Hurlbert.
Hurlbert, thank you. Sorry, I did not want to continue to say it wrong. Hurlbert. Mr. Hurlbert had been employed by Albemarle County Schools for 35 years. He began his career with the Albemarle County school system in 1949 as a teacher. During the years that followed, he served as a principal, an administrative assistant, an assistant superintendent for personnel, and ended his career in 1983 as deputy superintendent. During his tenure as assistant superintendent for personnel, he participated in the hiring of the first staff for CATEC. Mr. Hurlbert was the treasurer and member of the board of directors of the Leslie H. Walton Educational Fund since it was established in 1970. He participated in the Leslie Walton Memorial Scholarship selection process each spring and never missed a chance to support the fund monetarily to help ensure that deserving CATEC students could continue their education in the field of their choice. He was a tremendous advocate for CATEC from the very beginning, and he was inducted into the CATEC Wall of Fame on May 11th, 2012. So we are thinking about Mr. Hurlbert and want to posthumously thank him for his service.
Thank you, Stephanie. I remember when he was inducted in 2012, so I wasn't aware of this, so thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. That concludes my comments.
The next is a report on adult ed and apprenticeship programs.
Yes. So as an update from last year's programs, the combined adult programs exceeded projected revenue. We funded all budget line items, including almost $65,000 in instructional equipment, which included some welders, hospital beds, a new alignment lift. And we ended the year with a net profit of $80,738. So that was an update for last year. And for this year, our enrollments, we have several classes that have begun this week. The rest of our classes will begin later this week and next week. I anticipate enrollment to grow slightly up until the first night of classes. Currently, our apprentice programs, we have 184 apprentices registered. That is down slightly, 15 apprentices from what was reported at the 2021 board meeting at this time last year. Our adult ed enrollment is 69 students. That is actually up 24 students from what was reported last year at this time. And our total enrollment is 253 for the fall semester. That is currently up 9 students from enrollment last year at this time. For scholarships, our Auto Tech scholarships, they were awarded $3,700 to 9 students. And it makes it affordable for students to continue their education. So it's a really great, great benefit. Our CATEC Foundation Board, they graciously awarded $8,060 in scholarships to 9 students. All but 2 of those scholarships were actually full awards. So students completing programs at no cost. And then for the fall of this year, we're excited to announce that we are offering 65 new completely virtual programs that vary across healthcare, project management, business, software, IT, and even criminal justice. The programs are all tied to national certifications. Many offer students the opportunity to participate in externships. And once students complete, they receive career services and support to help them find jobs. And the website it's on our adult ed and web page where you can find the link and see all the courses that are new for the fall. And that's it. Any questions?
Sounds great. Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you.
Next is from the assistant principal, Mr. Smith.
I do have one thing real quick. A couple of weeks ago, we were graced by the presence of Miss Mary Fry and Mr. Jesse Mills, who returned to CATEC. If you know them, they're wonderful. They're doing beautifully. They came back and Mr. Mills informed us regarding, CATEC's 50th birthday is coming up, and he informed us regarding the location of a time capsule out front. So I just want to plant the seed that this is something that we will be investigating in the near future.
So are you saying that we have one that you're going to uncover, or we're going to have one?
We have one that is buried there now, and Mr.
Oh.
Mills gave us a very good description of it and gave us a few clues as to its whereabouts, and also some of the things that we might find inside.
Good. It's probably going to be waterlogged, but that's we still fun.
So now we'll have to develop something to put in a new capsule to bury it, so that 50 years from now, another group can unbury it.
Yeah.
So now, what is it? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Or where is Waldo? This is Mr. Smith's newest assignment.
Mr. Mills did say that it had a concrete top, so hopefully they did it just right. They did seal it. It is concrete, so we're hoping to find it intact and dry. We'll let you know.
I know that it's Anthony's moment, but can I just quickly want to let the center board know that Anthony has been working tirelessly for the last 2 weeks on his CDL license to help be able to drive the food truck around and the food bus around. And it's the most inopportune time, and I don't even know how many hours a day he's been working between his work, getting ready for school to open and CDL, but I'm really proud of him and happy that he's taking that on. So I just wanted the center board to know that, because he deserves the recognition.
Well, bravo. We'll have to celebrate when you get your license. Stephanie, about the food truck, were you able to get a less noisy generator? I know. Well, I mean, it was several months ago you said that was one of the goals, because it was so loud you couldn't really function with it.
That's true. We have the funding for it. We just have to find it and secure it. Right now, the pipeline for getting anything that's sort of electronic is is really tough. So we will get it. We do have the funding, and the funding is reserved for it. And so we will, hopefully before the first time it goes out, but maybe not. Laura Fauner said that she has a very loud generator and she just picks it up and moves it far away from the food truck. So that was definitely, and she uses extension cords. So that's definitely a possibility, but that thing is heavy. So I think we'd be better off to try to find a quiet one and just invest that way instead of investing someone's back. But anyway.
We'll have to take a picture of Mr. Smith behind the wheel when he passes his CDL. He may not be able to go anywhere yet, but oh, you can drive it around the block, park it on my street, and we can have a block party.
Yeah. A picture of him behind the wheel is for sure going to happen, for sure.
Is there anything else? Thank you. Other business by board and superintendents.
I had a question about the drama regarding the floor and if that was resolved. Not to bring up a sore subject, but.
Okay. It's not fully resolved. We're working on it. I'm working with Scott Hendricks, and we're working on figuring out a plan. It's resolved. It's where it can be right now. I mean, we're moving back in there. We're getting ready for the opening of school, but it has not been fully resolved.
Ms. Carter, it's resolved to the point that it will not be a hazard to our students or our instructors.
That's correct. It is. It's not a hazard. It's just shoddy work, but it's not dangerous. And in our consultation with Scott, we all agreed that we could get through the year, and then it will be a summer project. And the city facilities has agreed to take it on as a project, so we can make sure that it is done properly. Not the best way to end the summer, to be honest, but.
Well, if there is no other business, then we can go into closed session.
Okay, I have the motion to read. Are we ready, Madam Chair?
Go for it, Mr. Wade.
Yes, I move that the CATEC Center Board go into closed session as authorized by the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, Section 2.2-3711, subsection 8 of the Virginia Code under subsection 1 for the discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates of employment and assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, discipline, or resignation of specific officers, appointees, or employees of any public body.
Second.
Ms. Chisholm?
So,
Dr. Acuff,
Yes.
Ms. Carlson, Ms. McKeever, Ms. Osborne,
Yes.
Mrs. Puryear,
Yes.
Mr. Wade.
yes.
So now we use the link that you sent us, Ms. Chisholm.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I move that the board certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting, and only such public business matters were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered.
Second.
Dr. Acuff,
Muted. Yes.
Ms. Carlson, Ms. McKeever, Ms. Osborne,
Yes.
Mrs. Puryear,
Yes.
Mr. Wade.
Yes.
Is there a motion to come out of the closed session?
That was just done.
That,
just did
yeah,
that.
we can take.
Well, I mean, there's a
motion.
motion to approve the personnel items discussed in closed session. Don't we need one of those?
Yes.
Yes. So, I forgot, I think that, you as chair, you can ask for a motion, and I will move that all in favor that we did what we said we were going to do. If you agree, please say yes.
That's rather vague, but I think it works. I mean,
It's like
Well-
approve the personnel changes, right?
as
Yes.
recommended by the director.
Right.
Yes. Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Chisholm?
Dr. Acuff,
Yes.
Ms. Carlson, Ms. McKeever, Ms. Osborne,
Yes.
Mrs. Puryear,
Yes.
Mr. Wade.
Motion passes.
Yeah.
Is there any other business? Being no further business, this meeting is now adjourned in record time. Good
Yeah,
night, everybody.
thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Have a good
Have a
evening.
good evening.